Hello everybody, I'm Melissa and welcome back to BookBarr and welcome to my December haul. Yeah, I did some damage in December. I mean, some of these were gifts, some were secondhand books that I bought, and then others were just books that were on sale, or books that I was just having a really bad day and I went book shopping. So, and then others were books that I got for a reason. So I'm just going to start with the books that I was gifted. The first one is this gorgeous special edition, anniversary edition, whatever, of ACOTAR. I got this from my grandma and my aunt for Christmas, and it is just absolutely stunning. It is the most beautiful book that I own, and I need to find a way to display it somehow because I am obsessed, and it's just absolutely 100% gorgeous and stunning and perfect. So then my good friend on Instagram, King Arthur of Catsonville, and his wonderful loyal servant Megan sent me The Deal by Elle Kennedy. We actually buddy read this together earlier this year, and I really enjoyed it. And I love these covers, so I just want to own the whole series because, yeah, why not? When you find a book you like, you gotta own it. Then we did a bunch of romance booktubers did a Secret Santa, and my Secret Santa was Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life, and she sent me all sorts of amazing things like pens and tabs and a really pretty mug. But then she also sent me Heartless by Elsie Silver, which is one of my top 3 favorite books of last year. So yes, I'm so excited to have Cade and Willa on my shelves. And once I get Flawless back from my mother, it will be perfection. Then I'm part of Rye from Rye's Reading Corner's Patreon, and Bree from Four Paws in a Book was my Secret Santa, or Secret Elf, or whatever it was. And she sent me Jingle Wars by Marin Moore and Veronica Eden. I did not get a chance to read this, but it sounds so cute and so fun. And I'm excited to read it next year. But it's 2 inns, 1 town, and there's not enough room for the both of them. Add in a reindeerish donkey, a Christmas competition, and a rivalry to end all rivalries. And they're bound to end up a disaster, right? Finn Mayberry has enough on his plate trying to keep his grandparents in afloat. The last thing he needed was some California state-of-mind starlet bulldozing into his town and throwing up a 5-star resort right next to his family's inn. But now she's here, and he can't get her out of his town or his head. Freya Anderson took one look at the snow-capped mountains of Holly Ridge and fell in love. She's finally here and ready to take on the task of proving to her father that she can handle running alpine. She never expected to make enemies with the sinfully delicious lumberjack of a man who runs the inn next door. He's moody, impossible, and completely off limits. There can only be one winner. But you know what they all say, all is fair in love and Jingle Wars? I'm really excited, and this has a fun, almost like a step back, and I'm just obsessed. I kind of wish that there was an alternate cover with this, because yeah, so I'm hoping that because there's this, it means that this has some good steamy times in it. So yeah, I'm excited to get to this one when I do finally get to it. And then, okay, now we're just gonna go ahead and go on into the books that I've already read and bought for reasons. The first one is, I bought the whole Wolf of the Air Trilogy, The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and The Queen of Nothing. I bought these on Pingo because I'm doing a Folk of the Air along, which Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings started, and she asked me and Chandler from Chandler Ainsley, Christy from Christy Reads a Lot, and Samantha from Books with Samantha. We're all co-hosting it with her. So yeah, I had to buy them because I didn't own them. I had read them previously from the library, and I did really enjoy the trilogy. They were just not necessarily books that I was dire need to own. They were on my wish list, but they were at the bottom, and I saw them on Pingo for a pretty good price, so I had to buy them. Amazon and Target were having a couple sales around Christmas time, after Christmas time, and so I picked up a couple books from those. The first one is that I got from Target is 'Tis the Season for Revenge. This was one of my favorite books of last year. It was my favorite Christmas romance. I'm absolutely obsessed with Damien and Abby, and I just can't wait to read this and tab it and annotate it and just love on it every single year. So I'm so glad that I got this. Then The Wreckage of Us by Brittany Cherry. I really enjoyed this. It's a small town slash rock star romance, and it's really fun. The heroine had like a tragic past, and she kind of runs away and goes and lives with this guy on his family's farm, but he can't stand her because of who her mom and stepfather are. And yeah, it's just fantastic. I really enjoyed this. I think it was a 4.5 star, but it was on sale for a really good price. And I love just this cover's gorgeous, and I love having indies on my shelf. Then I bought myself the rest of the off-campus series, minus the Legacy, because I don't really need that one right now. The Mistake, The Score, and The Goal. Don't even know if that's the order they go in, but I'll figure it out. I think it is. But yeah, these are just the next 4 books in the off-campus series, and I really enjoyed the deal, so I figured I want to continue, and so I bought the rest because Amazon was having a pretty good sale. So yeah. Then Barnes & Noble was having their 50% off hardcovers, and so I went shopping with my best friend while I was back home and her sisters, and it was a whole big fun experience. I didn't vlog it or anything because it was kind of late at night and none of us were wearing makeup, and nobody wanted to be. They were all like, we don't want to be on the video, so I didn't do it. So I did get Amari and the Great Game. I read Amari and the Night Brothers a couple years ago, and I absolutely loved it. It's just such a fantastic middle grade, and this one's actually signed. So I got this on the 50% off hardbacks. But yeah, I absolutely loved it, and I want to continue the series, and just haven't. So I figured I might as well pick it up. And then I also got A Book, a Game by Kate Bateman, because I've loved every book in the Ruthless Rival series, so I just imagine I will love this as well. So yeah, got that one. Then again, 2 more books that I just bought because I needed them. Anesthesia by Sophie Lark. No explanation needed. I absolutely adored this. The illustration's beautiful. I needed it on my shelf. I need it with my Sophie Lark books. I wanna have all of her books eventually, but yeah, I had to buy this one like immediately. And then I had bought on her website, she had like signed books. So I bought Bloody Heart, which was the last book from the like man covers that I needed of the Brutal Birthright series. So I had to buy this one because I need all the man covers and probably eventually all the illustrated covers. But yeah, this is Dante and Simone's story. It's probably my least favorite in the series, but it's fine. I still want to have them all. Yeah, and just have all of them, of course. Then I had kind of a bad day, or no, we'll do something else first. I got a book box from Romance Reveal, and it came with Dare You to Love by Mina Cole and Out of Love by Ruth Cardello. And Dare You to Love says, falling for my ex's brother was never part of the plan. Small town mayor Peter Bradbury was both sexy and stubborn. The best plan for my sanity was to avoid him. Too bad the ultimatum my boss gave me was the opposite of what was best. Peter was my adversary and very much off limits, but his sexy, melt-your-panties smile and his love for the small town and its crazy residents made me forget we were at odds, one heated kiss at a time. He made it his mission to make me fall in love with the town, and the more time we spent together, the hotter things burned between us. But with my job on the line, I needed to remember what I had come here for, and it wasn't a few kisses and an unforgettable night in Peter's bed. Despite all the reasons we were wrong for one another, the heat rising between us didn't stop, and I wondered what was the worst thing that could happen when I mixed business and pleasure. But when I started to fall for him, I had to decide between doing what I knew was right or following my heart. This sounds good. There is a typo on the back, so that doesn't bode well, but it's fine. And then Out of Love says, fake it till you make it, even if it means swapping lives with your twin brother. I just found out I have an identical twin. I'd love the idea if he wasn't an arrogant, overconfident businessman who's determined to save my farm, even though I'm in no danger of losing it. When I agreed to switch lives with him, it was supposed to be for a couple of hours. I was told to lie low, meet no one, and let him deal with the oil company sniffing around my property. I agreed to the switch only because it was the first time since we'd met that my twin had shown interest in my life, and I hoped it would give us a better understanding of each other. Hours drag into days. I consider our initial agreement void and head to his office. I'm sitting behind his desk, mostly minding my own business, when a beautiful woman blusters in, ready for confrontation with my brother about an email. She's the daughter of my brother's largest client. I only flirt with her to make her smile. What could it hurt to pretend to be my brother just a little longer? I didn't expect to uncover a plan to sabotage my brother's company. I don't want to believe that the woman I can't get out of my thoughts and would love to get in my bed has anything to do with what I've discovered. Save the company, save the girl. I have no idea how I'll do either, but when something is done out of love, it has to work out. Sounds good. Sounds like it's told from his perspective, so that's exciting. I love when a book is told from the male's perspective, because we don't get that very often, so yeah. Then I went to Barnes & Noble one day because I was just having a shit day at work, and when I have bad days, I spend money. So, clearly, I had a lot of bad days in December. I decided I wanted to enter my spicy manga era. Well, one, this was one of my 12 books from 12 Friend Rex. This is I'll Never Be Your Crown Princess. I Will Not Be Your Plaything. Liddy, who was Japanese in her previous life, is now the daughter of a duke and engaged to marry the gorgeous Crown Prince Friedrich. Sounds like a dream come true. Except this is a world that practices polygamy, and Liddy refuses to marry a man with multiple wives. To sabotage the engagement, she loses her virginity to a stranger, but that plan is thwarted by a surprising revelation. What will happen to Liddy next in this hot fantasy romance? I mean, it sounds good. So I got that one, and then I also had heard a lot about Fire in His Fingertips. A flirty fireman ravishes me with his smoldering gaze. Passions ablaze. Ryu tries to set up her shopping fireman friend, Salma. Sorry if I pronounce that wrong. Salma with a coworker from her office, but her matchmaking efforts hit a brick wall. It turns out that Salma has a hots for Ryo instead. And when a fire breaks out in Ryu's apartment, it's Salma who comes to rescue, and the heat really gets turned up. Fiery couple. Wonderful. Then I got Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. This is the only book I haven't read yet in the Twisted series, but I own all the rest of them, so I figured I needed to have this one too. Might as well just get the whole series. And then I got The Wolf of Oren Yaru, which I have heard is a really good fantasy series. I know it used to be called like The Chronicles of the Bitch Queen. So I'm excited to read this one. I guess I should probably read the backs of both of these. So the back of this one says, "They called me the bitch queen, the she-wolf, because I murdered a man and exiled my king the night before they crowned me. From an incredible new voice in epic fantasy comes the tale of a queen who must unite her divided land, even if she's hated by the very people she's trying to protect. Born under the crumbling towers of her kingdom, Queen Talion was the shining jewel and legacy of the bloody war with the wolves. Queen Talion was the shining jewel and legacy of the bloody war of the wolves, and it nearly tore her nation apart. Her arranged marriage to the son of a rival clan heralds peace. However, he suddenly disappears before their reign can begin, and the kingdom is fractured beyond repair. Years later, he sends a mysterious invitation to meet. Talion journeys across the sea in hopes of reconciling their past. An assassination attempt quickly dashes those dreams. Stranded in the land she doesn't know, with no idea whom she can trust, Talion will have to embrace her namesake." Sounds good. And then the back of Twisted Lies says, "If my thoughts were chaos, she was my anchor. They always went back to her." Charming, deadly, and smart enough to hide it, Christian Harper is a monster dressed in perfectly tailored suits of a gentleman. He has little use for morals and even less use for love, but he can't deny the strange pull he feels towards the woman living just one floor below him. She's the object of his darkest desires and the only puzzle he can't solve. And when the opportunity to get closer to her arises, he breaks his own rules to offer her a deal she can't refuse. Every monster has their weakness. She's his obsession, his addiction, his only exception. Sweet, shy, and introverted, despite her social media fame, Stella Alonso is a romantic who keeps her heart in a cage. Between her two jobs, she has little time for desire or a relationship, but when a threat from her past drives her into the arms and house of the most dangerous man she's ever met, she's tempted to let herself feel something for the first time in a long time, because despite Christian's cold nature, he makes her feel everything when she's with him: passionate, protected, truly wanted. Theirs is a love twisted with secrets and tainted by lies, but when the truths are finally revealed, they can shatter everything." It just sounds wonderful. I'm really excited to read it. Then I got a couple historicals, so now I'm just gonna rapid fire go through them. I got another Teresa Medeiros because I needed one. I have like 5, but it has a step back and it's just so gorgeous. It's called Charming the Prince. Dear reader, my enemies know me as Lord Banner the Bold, a pride of the English and terror of the French. Never in my life have I backed down from any challenge or betrayed so much as a hint of fear, until the war ended and I found myself a reluctant papa to a dozen unruly children. Realizing I couldn't lop their little heads off or throw them into a dungeon, I sent my steward out to find them a mother and me a bride, an unattractive, meek, maternal creature, too plain to tempt me to get her with a child. You can imagine my horror when he returned with Lady Willow of Bedlington, a spirited beauty who made me think of nothing else. With her cloud of dark curls and sparkle of passion in her eyes, Willow was everything I'd sworn to resist. I never dreamed she would join forces with those mischievous imps of mine to teach this cynical warrior how sweet surrender can be. That sounds amazing. Oh, I'm so excited. Then I just want to have all of Lisa Kleypas's books, even if they don't have step backs. I mean, I'd prefer them to have step backs, but I got Prince of Dreams. The most dangerous and desirable man in all of England, Nicholas burns to possess Emma Stokehurst, but the proud, headstrong beauty is promised to another. Still, there are no limits to how far the wealthy, bitter exile will go to win her exquisite hand. Though owning Emma's body, but not her love, will do nothing to fill the empty spaces in his heart. But Nicholas's destiny awaits him elsewhere, as passion's magic transport him to a different place, a land of splendor and romantic dreams. For only there can he experience true ecstasy in one remarkable woman's tender touch, achingly familiar, yet gloriously new, and learn, at last, to love. Sounds good. I mean, it's Lisa Kleypas, so, you know, I gotta have it. Then I got Nora Roberts' The Obsession. This, Jess from Peace Love Books for her Patreon is doing a book club with this book. So I am excited to read this. I don't see where it has like what it's about. So I'm just gonna, go into it. And then A Duchess by Midnight by Karis Michaels. I read the first book in this series last year and I really enjoyed it. So I wanted to get the second book. And plus these covers are just fantastic. Although I don't know if this is the second book. I think this actually might be the third book. But I don't think you have to read them in order. They're all like fairy tale retellings. So this one's a former ugly duckling. Miss Druismina Drew Traylon is a former awkward child and a one-time wicked stepsister. Raised by a bitter, overbearing mother, Drew is all grown up and made peace with her orange hair and beanpole height. Her transformation has inspired her dream of opening a finishing school that emphasizes inner beauty, capability, and confidence, but launching a school costs money. So Drew begins with private clients who pay well and don't ask many questions. A reclusive duke. In Clayback, the Duke of Lachlan has been forced to scandal to live alone on his Dorset estate. When his estranged sister arrives with her two daughters, he feels obligated to give the girls a proper season. Venturing back into society could clear his name and provide his vagabond nieces with a better life. Who better to help than the striking Miss Trelane? A Midnight Kiss. Affording Drew services isn't a problem for Lachlan, but his growing desire for her is, as his nieces warm to her gentle charm and overwhelmed by her unique beauty and open manner. When they're caught in a scandalous embrace, nothing short of marriage will save all of them from further scandal. Can a marriage made in haste be love's saving grace? Sounds like a good marriage of convenience. I love me one of those. All right, two more. Then again, another Lisa Kleypas. This is Love Come to Me. I again just love Lisa Kleypas and I want to own all her books. Plus this cover is really pretty and it's in pretty decent condition. So he was her most scandalous secret. Heath Rain, a dashing southerner, has been waiting for his chance to meet Lucinda Caldwell. But he never expects to find the spirited beauty in such a desperate dilemma as he rescues her from an icy New England river. When Lucinda opens her eyes, she's stunned to find herself in the arms of a handsome stranger and a dangerous reputation. A man forbidden to her by the rules of society and by her own guarded heart. But the chance encounter kindles an irresistible attraction that can lead to only trouble. After all, Lucinda is betrothed to a man of wealth and position among the Massachusetts elite, and any hint of scandal would ruin her. That sounds fantastic. And then the last one is Amy Rose Bennett's Up All Night with the Good Duke. Tiffany from Tiff Talks Pages read this in one of her Vlogmas vlogs, and it just sounds amazing. And I saw it at my local used bookstore, and it's like perfect condition, just absolutely fantastic. So I had to get it. Artemis Jones, respectable finishing school teacher by day and gothic romance writer by night. has never lost sight of her real dream, to open her own academic ladies' college. When Artemis is unexpectedly called upon by a dear friend to navigate her first London season, she comes at once. Who knows? Perhaps she can court the interest of a wealthy patron for her school, as long as she can avoid her hand-hearted aunt's schemes to marry her off. Dominic Winters, the widowed Duke of Dartmoor, needs a wife, someone who will provide him with an heir and help him to manage his spitfire adolescent daughter. The problem is, society has dubbed him the dastardly Duke. Rumors are rife that he murdered his wife, so his choices for a suitable bride are limited. But then he meets the ravishing and passionate Artemis Jones, who might just be everything he needs. So yeah, those are all the books that I got in the month of December. I'm really excited to have all of these, to read some of them, to reread some of them. But yeah, I'm just really excited for them all. So if you made it to the end of this video, leave me a bookstack emoji, because yeah, obviously, bookstack. I have 3 of them sitting in front of me. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really helps me out. I'll talk to you on the next one.